Yeah. Good old fashioned, taken out to the woodshed and got our tail kicked. And they're good. I've said all along, I really like Shrew's team, and they're old. They're so old. They execute. They run great offense, and when you don't show up to play with much bite or much fight, this is what happens in the Big Ten. You have an off night. It was, get it to 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it was, and then we foul, the guy who had 41 tonight. So Pickett's tremendous. We let him walk into 2 threes to start the game. Let him get his rhythm. Let him feel good. We did everything we said we weren't going to do or tried to do. But again, I didn't have much to say to the team afterwards except let's go home and get ready for the next one. It's a pretty helpless feeling when you didn't put up much of a fight tonight.
Brad, Pickett usually doesn't hit that many threes. How much more dangerous is he when he's able to get it going?
There's a problem when he does that, and then you can keep the ball for, you can keep the ball for 20 seconds. We had a 14-second possession in the game at our place, and it's not the NBA where they have a 5-second rule, allowing you to back in, and it becomes impossible to guard because he can just hold the ball all night. And college basketball, in my opinion, needs to look at that rule. But when the guy can keep the ball and just keep, and you can't guard it, he turns his back and you can't touch him. And then when he makes threes, we let him walk into the first 2. We went under him, and then we didn't even try to close out. That hasn't been us. But again, I'm not taking anything away from them. They were great tonight, and they probably would have beat the Celtics.
Brad, defense the last 10 games has been pretty good. Was it just the effort tonight, or were there some other deficiencies?
Oh, there's some communication issues, and I thought we showed some youth tonight and inexperience. We tried to do we tried to push up a little bit on Funk screens with him. But you got to really communicate that. You got to be very vocal with that, and we blew almost every one of them. We can practice it for a couple of days, but and you combine that with how good they are. You pick your poison with this team, whether you want to let them make threes or pick at the post but and then we shot horrendously from the 3, so that didn't help either.
You got back to doing some switching. Did they force you to do that? And
yeah.
Were you trying to find an answer to with that?
Yeah, they that's their whole deal. That's why they're really hard to guard. And it's why it's really hard to guard to play little guards. Okay, and you pick your poison who you want to put them on. Our debate all week was, do we put Jaden and Sincere on Dredd, or their big guy, because they force you to switch, because Funk is an elite screener, and then he blurs a lot, and they force you to handle that switch. The 3 times we didn't, he shot naked layups, and so they do as much guard on guard screening because of Pickett than anybody in the country. And then when you can keep the ball all night, you never have to give it up. And if you blitz him, he passes it out. And I think they're one of the best teams in the country in lowest turnover rate out of double teams. So good offensive team. It's a really good offensive team. But I think we missed 20 shots in the first half. We had 1 offensive rebound. So I'll tell you where our effort and our mental capacity was today.
News before the game that Zach was leaving the program, going back to France. Was that a sudden thing, or how did that go?
Very. And it's what you deal with some international kids and having an opportunity to go make it a career. And so wish him nothing but the best. And we've got so many games left, and I'm not too worried about a guy that wasn't open this 1 game. So just an unfortunate or fortunate, however you want to look at it for him. I don't, like I said, I'm worried about the guys that are in that locker room.
I guess maybe not having much to say to the team afterwards, just to maybe get home. I mean, just how do you view this game maybe in the broader scale of what you've done over the last month or so?
One game in 20. I mean, everybody in this league's going through, is going through or has gone through a moment. And you can't dwell on it. We got 5 games in like 9 days. Okay, with the COVID game. So if you think I want to not get home and try to get rest, and we've got Indiana and then Minnesota on Monday and then Northwestern. So yeah, we can't dwell on it. We've got to play better. We got to play harder.
Just an off night for Dane. Seemed to play through him well at Iowa and Rutgers. Is that just a game where he didn't have it?
Yeah. Yeah. Along with a lot of other dudes.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, time Terrence in this hallway when they're ready.